That's why a lot of these celebrities that start these things, they can't keep up. You know, like the Meghan Markles.
But you're the same.
You're the same.
Like, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, guys, you don't got to do this. Please, I'm begging you to stop.
You know, I mean, she used to be on
Was
Deal or
he
No
infiltrated?
Deal.
And now,
Yeah.
you can't.
Yeah, look, she was on Deal or No Deal.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, with the briefcase.
She didn't like being objectified on Deal. And did you think it was an executive position, ma'am?
Meghan Markle just completely lost it after Joe Rogan torched her latest fake feminist stunt with zero mercy and full research mode activated.
I knew her a bit before she met Harry. She was nothing like that. She didn't speak like that. Her mannerisms weren't like that. This is all fake.
You just can't keep faking it. It's too hard.
The man didn't just roast her. He brought receipts, sarcasm, and that classic Rogan punch that leaves no PR spin alive.
There isn't a tear in sight. It's an actor's trick.
Now make yourself cry. Oh, I can do that so well. Oh my God, it's crazy.
Wasn't there some speculation that she was on Epstein's yacht at one point in time?
And now Meghan's meltdown is trending harder than her brand ever did. Joe Rogan didn't just criticize Meghan Markle. He completely dismantled her latest emotional stunt with the kind of brutal honesty only he can deliver.
Zoom in here and it says, with the compliments of Her Royal Highness.
But they can't make money off the royal family.
So why did you say yes to doing this show?
Because it's you.
While Meghan dabbed her eyes during a podcast appearance, claiming to be overwhelmed by the pressures of life, Rogan called it exactly what it was. Hollywood training 101.
There was like photos with her and Prince Andrew way back in the day when she was like in her early 20s.
There's evidence that suggests that she went on Epstein's yacht at the same time as Prince Andrew.
He didn't hold back. In fact, he played the clip where Meghan casually boasts, "Oh, I can cry on command. Left eye, 3 seconds." And then contrasted it with her dramatic on-air breakdown. It was all there. The trembling voice, the shaking breath, the theatrical dabbing. But as Rogan pointed out, not a single tear in sight.
She married for money. It's very clear she bagged the elephant. She was thrilled she became a, quote, princess.
It's all
And in the tape, she's performing a sex act on him that's unbelievable.
He didn't stop at mocking the performance. Rogan went further, saying Meghan might be the first duchess in history to monetize her own tears. And honestly, he's not wrong. Everything about that podcast felt like a staged audition, except this time, the role was suffering duchess turned spiritual guide.
This woman looks to me like a malignant narcissist. This woman has zero self-awareness.
I love that your eyes are sparkling right now. You know, Meghan, how are you today? Which, by the way, I just have to say, yes.
Enjoy them.
I forgot to have fun. You're right. You're right.
Rogan didn't buy it for a second. According to him, this wasn't vulnerability, it was branding. The Meghan Markle brand is built on struggle, drama, and carefully curated moments that only work when people still believe they're real. But now, that belief is crumbling. Rogan's signature sarcasm kicked into full gear when he dubbed Meghan the CEO of suffering. He joked that she'd probably trademark the phrase if she could. And the audience? They erupted. It wasn't just laughter, it was relief.
That 2-hour podcast that I just had to sit through with Jamie Keen-Lima, who is also very cut off from the rest of the world.
Finally, someone said out loud what millions of people had been thinking every time Meghan pulled another teary stunt on a podcast or Netflix special. This wasn't bravery. This was another PR move in a long string of moves, each more theatrical than the last.
When I look into Jamie's eyes, I feel like I am on some other cosmic level with her.
I could see the light around her. She's infused with light.
And what made it worse, what really hit a nerve, was how Meghan continues to package her problems as if they're universal. Rogan pointed out the absurdity of a woman living in a multi-million-dollar mansion, surrounded by staff, media contracts, and global attention, trying to sell the idea that she's the one being oppressed.
We're at Soho House, Toronto, which is basically TIG headquarters for me. I write my stories here, I take my meetings here, and it's kind of amazing because all over the world, if I'm traveling, Soho House can still be home base. Now make yourself cry. Oh, I can do that so well. Oh my god, it's crazy. You're like, Meghan, 1 tear, left eye, go. Give me 3 seconds.
It's the kind of narrative that might have worked once, but not anymore. The public has seen too much. They've connected the dots. And Joe Rogan laid it out on the table like a roast dinner.
When you were saying, like, do you want to just do like cozies and no makeup? I like the idea of like, okay, great, let's let them see us.
Nobody talks like that and nobody acts like that because that's weird behavior that we're seeing from both of these people.
What happened next was predictable and hilarious. Clips of Rogan's rant went viral within hours. Viewers reposted the takedown with captions like, "Finally, someone called her out," and "You just said what we're all thinking." Meghan's PR team reportedly tried to get the clips flagged and taken down, but it was too late.
Because that's weird behavior that we're seeing from both of these people if we're supposed to be thinking under the impression that they're being authentic.
This wasn't just another podcast episode. It became a moment of cultural shift. A line was crossed. Meghan's brand of royalty-infused self-pity ran headfirst into a wall of blunt commentary, and it shattered. Rogan, in his usual style, didn't scream or attack. He didn't need to. He just pointed out the obvious, and once he did, nobody could unsee it.
Do you think you'll be married forever?
Yes.
I have a letter.
He's also a fox, if you haven't noticed. My husband's very, very handsome. But his heart is even more beautiful.
Something's up here. See that little shoulder shrug when she said yes?
Yes, yes,
Did you hear how high her voice was when she said yes?
yes.
When we're stressed, our larynx closes up a little bit and our voice tone gets a little bit higher. That's why the pitch of the yes is so high.
The phrase "crying on command" stuck like glue. Even casual viewers who hadn't followed Meghan's drama now had a punchline. TikToks flooded the app with skits of people pretending to cry. Left eye 3 seconds, while mocking the Duchess's flawless fake breakdown. For someone who claims to crave privacy, Meghan managed to land herself at the center of another storm. And this one didn't come from the tabloids. It came from the internet's biggest microphone.
Before I go to bed almost every night, I email them.
Wow.
They will end up at one point in their life, maybe when they're 16 or when they're 18, that I say, here's an email that I've been keeping for you.
Because that's really what you want when you're 18. 40,000 emails, Maureen, from your mother.
These emails are so that when my children are of age, they can come to me and say, oh my God, you loved us so much. It's me, me, me.
Joe Rogan didn't just expose a lie. He exposed the formula. The sad royal turned feminist icon storyline that Meghan has milked for years suddenly looked like a broken script. And when the world stopped taking it seriously, the whole act began to collapse. The tears dried up. The audience moved on. And Meghan? She's still wiping away tears that never actually fell.
With the compliments of Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. That is a title that was stripped from her when she and Harry made their whole racism debacle and left the UK, left their royal duties, and moved to the US to bug all of us. She's using it in private with her friends. That's even weirder than if they were still trying to milk the titles in public. That is just like all the confirmation that I need that this woman is just obsessed with being a royal, that is all this was all about.
Meghan Markle's public persona didn't just evolve, it mutated. And now, under the weight of constant scrutiny, it's cracking in real time. People who knew her before she became the Duchess of Sussex are watching with raised eyebrows, wondering who this softly spoken, enlightened, cosmic royalty figure even is.
She's angry that she screwed the pooch by claiming racism and basically getting kicked out of the family. She just can't give up the HRH titles that quickly. Like, this is literally what she has always wanted.
One former acquaintance, speaking anonymously to the Times UK in February 2020, bluntly said, "She didn't talk like that. This Diana whisper she does now, that's new." And they weren't alone. Online sleuths unearthed clips from Meghan's 2015 Today Show and Larry King live interviews where her speech was sharper, her cadence American, and her vibe pure LA girl with hustle energy. Not whatever ethereal aristocrat act she's putting on now.
Staggering 2/3 of Brits are calling for Harry and Meghan to be stripped of their HRH titles.
Now, the king can end this feud, but not by shaking hands with this treacherous little weasel, but by stripping him and his wife of the royal titles that they love to use for commercial gain without doing any of the work.
By April 2020, one particular side-by-side TikTok comparison had already racked up 8.2 million views. It showed Meghan in a pre-Harry video ordering coffee with a casual California lilt, cut with a clip from her 2023 Variety Power of Women appearance, where she breathes out words like she's delivering a eulogy in slow motion. The caption? 2 women, 1 face. And the comments were merciless. Users joked that Meghan didn't just get media training, she downloaded a whole personality patch.
He's a duplicitous, self-centered, vile, disloyal hypocrite.
But it gets weirder. According to a leak from a former Netflix producer who worked with Meghan on the now-canceled Pearl animated series, the Duchess allegedly kept a collection of royal rehearsal scripts, personalized documents designed to guide her tone, posture, and phrasing during interviews.
He blamed pretty much everybody, of course, as usual, other than himself, including his father, the king, who is currently, of course, suffering from cancer.
Ultimately, this whole thing could be resolved through him, not necessarily by intervening, but by stepping aside, allowing the experts to do what is necessary.
The same producer told The Telegraph in July 2023 she was obsessed with symmetry, camera angles, and micro movements. It wasn't media prep, it was performance art. Meghan, it seems, isn't just acting like royalty. She's scripting it frame by frame.
I don't know how much longer my father has. He won't speak to me because of this security stuff.
Harry's digging an even bigger hole for himself here.
Well, I think he's dug so deep now, he'll strike water any day now.
Former Suits co-stars have also quietly chimed in. Patrick J. Adams, during a backstage comment at the 2023 Emmy FYC event, reportedly said to a colleague, "It's like she found a new character and never broke out of it." And while he later denied the quote publicly, anonymous crew members backed it up to Radar Online, claiming Meghan's transformation post-2017 was so drastic they barely recognized her.
Meghan's podcast has fallen off the charts. She's been criticized for the content. There are rumors that her As Ever launch wasn't as successful as she considered it. Critically, With Love Meghan was not a success.
Critics have coined a brutal nickname, the Great Royal Method Actor. The name stuck after a Spectator editorial by journalist Louise Perry in December 2023 dissected Meghan's media behavior as a form of sustained theatrical immersion, equal parts performance and delusion. In short, Meghan isn't being herself. She's playing herself, the noble, wounded, soft-spoken Duchess with a PhD in suffering. It's a role she's been rehearsing for years. And now, with every public appearance, the mask is starting to slip.
Most of Meghan Markle's yacht girl pics have been scrubbed from the internet.
There was a sex tape about her.
And I saw it.
What do Americans really think of Harry and Meghan? We despise them.
But while Meghan tries to act like royalty, her past refuses to stay buried. By March 2020, the internet exploded again, with fresh attention on the long-whispered yacht girl allegations. These weren't new stories. They were old Hollywood rumors, dusted off and given fresh oxygen after Joe Rogan's viral podcast aired a clip from a 2012 tabloid interview where Meghan casually mentioned her amazing summer in Croatia.
A lot of people, Meghan Markle was also in the Soho House. They said that she was a girl that was hired to walk VIPs and fill out the red carpets and stuff like that,
They hope to become actresses. They hope to become any type of celebrity, and they will do anything.
And it seems like that lady is a temptress. She's a siren. She's lured him into the rocks.
That's all it took. Users connected the dots and linked the date to the 2012 Yacht Week Croatia event, which, according to Tatler Archives, was attended by several Epstein-linked billionaires, including a Swiss financier later subpoenaed in the 2019 Epstein trial.
They start their way up. They latch onto the first rich guy or famous guy they get that they meet at the Playboy Mansion. This is their exit strategy. I'm going to marry this man, and he's going to take care of me the rest of my life.
Within days, forums like Lipstick Alley and Reddit's RR Harry and Meghan began surfacing blurred photos and now deleted blogs, claiming to show Meghan aboard a luxury yacht docked in Split, Croatia. One post in particular alleged that Meghan attended private soirees arranged by talent recruiters, and that she was part of a guest list that included at least 2 known Epstein associates. No hard evidence was presented, but the speed at which this content spread was staggering.
But Meghan Markle has been accused of being a former yacht girl. They're also claiming that she could have spent time with Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein before meeting Prince Harry. Meghan was invited to join a yacht week in Croatia in 2016.
Then came the bombshell line. A known gossip columnist who writes under the pseudonym Duchess de Sex on Substack claimed in April 2024, "I saw the tape, it exists." The post alleged the existence of an intimate recording linked to Meghan during one of her pre-Harry party circuits.
There's evidence that suggests that she went on Epstein's yacht at the same time as Prince Andrew.
The blog received over 1 million hits in 48 hours before being flagged, reposted, and dissected across platforms like X, formerly Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. Meghan's legal team, of course, dismissed it as defamatory fiction, but the optics alone were enough to reignite the flame.
Meghan did claim that before dating Harry, she never Googled him, and she said she didn't know much about the royal family.
I know someone who knows the ex-husband who said she had a vision board with Prince Harry on it.
The narrative deepened when several anonymous staffers at Soho House, where Meghan was a regular attendee between 2013 and 2016, told Page Six in January 2020 that she was considered a networker with a mission. One staffer reportedly said, "She knew exactly where the celebrities sat. She made it a point to be seen." Combine that with Meghan's now infamous deal or no deal stint, and her repeated denials of knowing much about Prince Harry before meeting him, and it all starts looking less like coincidence and more like strategy.
These two never stop going on global media to trash the royal family and the monarchy, and each time they do it, they chip away at the mystique and the magic and the popularity, and that's why I despise them for what they're doing.
More clips resurfaced. One from 2014 showed Meghan on the Craig Ferguson show laughing about the high-end parties she got invited to because of her suitcase girl days. That alone triggered another cycle of speculation, this time involving archived photos with Prince Andrew, dated around 2011, at a private London event that was later linked to Ghislaine Maxwell's former social circle.
That man loves me so much, and look what we've built. We've built a beautiful life, and we have 2 healthy, beautiful children. If you haven't noticed, my husband's very, very handsome.
It's so fake.
This can't be real.
Oh, he's such a great partner.
It sucks. Are you joking?
It's bad.
This is terrible.
You suck. You suck.
I feel that.
What? Stop.
All of it is fake.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
I don't like it.
Just talking nonsense. It's stupid.
Now, none of this proves anything concrete, but that's not the point. The moment Rogan's podcast echoed even a fragment of these allegations, they exploded all over again. And with Meghan already under fire for her fake crying act and royal title misuse, the resurfacing of her pre-Duchess years landed like gasoline on a house fire. The questions weren't about whether she did these things. They were about how much she tried to bury them.
Right, I feel that every day in how supportive he's been. He's also a fox.
You're ugly.
It's weird, right?
I get another lecture from you, I'm gonna go crazy.
Oh my gosh, I work so hard.
And that's the real story. Not just the rumors themselves, but how aggressively Meghan's camp has tried to erase every trace. Deleted blog posts, disappeared images, cease and desist threats to gossip pages. But for every scrubbed search result, 5 more pop up. Because in the age of digital receipts, the past isn't just a risk, it's a live feed.
Oh my gosh, look at all these photos about last night. ... Thank you, Beyonce and team, for an amazing concert and a very fun date night. All love. Girl, she didn't invite you to the concert.
She wants all of the privileges that go along with an identity, but she doesn't want any of the responsibility. She doesn't want to do any of the work. She wants the tiara. She doesn't want the public service.
And with Joe Rogan dragging these whispers back into the mainstream, Meghan's carefully constructed image isn't just dented, it's unraveling. In early April 2025, a seemingly harmless gift basket from Meghan Markle made its way into the hands of a friend in Montecito, and with it came a handwritten card, neatly signed, with the compliments of Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex.
No, I mean, she used to be on
Was
Deal or
he
No
infiltrated?
Deal. Look, she was on Deal or No Deal.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the wife convinces you to leave the royal family. Like, I'm out. I don't need you guys. Which is crazy, because don't you just get free money?
Oh, we want our privacy and safety, but we'll go be at Beyonce concerts and do whatever we want. Oh, look at him.
Within 48 hours, the image of that card was leaked online and reposted by royal commentator Dan Wooten on X. It spread like wildfire. The problem? Meghan hasn't been permitted to use the title Her Royal Highness in any public or commercial context since March 31st, 2020, the day she and Harry officially stepped down from royal duties.
We open British markets for American companies. All that Britain demands in return is that we keep these two.
No! No! I refuse! I'm sick of it! No, I don't want them. No, I don't want them. It's just, they are so ridiculed all over the place.
Joe Rogan latched onto the moment on his podcast just days later, firing off a line that echoed across every corner of the internet. You can't quit your job and still put the title on your email signature. That's like calling yourself CEO after getting fired. His studio erupted in laughter, and so did half of Twitter. The joke landed because the absurdity was real. Meghan, a woman who told Oprah she wanted a normal life, was still tagging herself with royal credentials like she was headlining Buckingham Palace's LinkedIn profile.
Oh my God, that hat. Oh God, he's so hot. Look at him. Isn't Prince Harry? She bagged a fox. Oh, but look how nice is she pulling away from her lovely prince. It's so good. Who's filming this?
The backlash was immediate and widespread. Royal historian Hugo Vickers told the Daily Mail on April 9th, "This is not a casual error, it's a provocation." According to the official agreements made with the Queen and Buckingham Palace in 2020, both Meghan and Harry retained their Duke and Duchess titles, but were barred from using HRH in any formal or informal setting. In short, Meghan knowingly signed a card with a title she legally forfeited 5 years ago. Critics across the British press accused her of illegally exploiting royal branding for personal gain. Not just a lapse in judgment, this was framed as a deliberate strategy to keep royal prestige attached to her luxury lifestyle ventures, especially the American Riviera Orchard rebrand. PR watchdogs quickly noted that the gift basket, which also included strawberry jam from her new label, was likely a soft launch marketing gesture disguised as a personal favor. This wasn't a gift, one insider told The Sun. It was a brand placement with royal seasoning.
And Meghan just started accepting all these compliments. I know I'm great, aren't I?
Defenders of Meghan scrambled. Royal biographer Omid Scobie appeared on ITV's This Morning trying to reframe the controversy, calling it a private gesture between friends. But the public wasn't buying it. If it were truly private, why was it signed with a prohibited title? Why did it contain branded items from a company preparing for a commercial relaunch? Royal etiquette expert Richard Fitzwilliams weighed in on GB News the next day. This is not a technicality, it's reputational warfare. The backlash wasn't just social, it was statistical. An independent poll conducted by YouGov UK on April 12th revealed a staggering 97% of respondents believed King Charles should formally strip Meghan and Harry of all royal titles, citing repeated misuse for commercial or political purposes. That's not fringe outrage, that's near unanimous national rejection.
She's crying. We zoomed in just to see. There isn't a tear in sight. Dan, look at this. I invite the viewers to take a close-up look at this. Where's the tear?
But while Meghan's royal nostalgia was boiling over, another scandal brewed quietly. And this time, it involved fire, literally. In March 2025, Robin Patrick, a 47-year-old woman from Montgomery County, Maryland, filed legal notice threatening to sue Meghan Markle, Netflix, and Archewell for $10 million USD. Her allegation? that a bath salt recipe Meghan featured in a Netflix episode titled Home Rituals, part of a 2023 miniseries project, had left her with severe second-degree burns and diabetic ulcers. According to the claim, Patrick, who has type 2 diabetes, followed the at-home self-love detox bath routine Meghan promoted, using ingredients like Himalayan salt, arnica extract, and lavender oil. The issue? As confirmed by dermatologist Dr. Erica Bronson on CBS News Health in April 2025, arnica is highly reactive for people with underlying skin conditions, and Himalayan salt can cause microabrasions that intensify infections in diabetics. Bronson didn't mince words. This mixture should come with medical disclaimers, period.
What has she been doing? Does she work? As opposed to, oh my gosh, I work so hard and I appreciate what hard work looks like. I like working hard.
The beginning of that clip where she's like, oh my God, oh my God. Oh, it's like, it's so inauthentic.
Patrick was hospitalized 3 days after the soak and has since undergone multiple wound care treatments, according to a report from the Washington Post. In her complaint, she states, "I trusted the product because it was presented as safe and healing by a public figure I respected. I was never warned." Her legal team is now reportedly exploring a class action approach, stating there are at least 5 other women across the U.S. who reported skin flare-ups after trying the same formula. And just when Meghan's team hoped to contain the fire, Joe Rogan poured gasoline on it. On his April 14th episode, Rogan addressed the lawsuit head-on. "This is what happens when influencers think they're chemists," he said, flipping through screenshots of the recipe as Jamie Vernon, his producer, laughed in the background. How the hell do you go from Duchess to wellness guru to backyard pharmacist? What's next? Royal kombucha kits that blind people? The audience howled.
Couldn't tell anyone who I was dating, and he was keeping. So I think we were just on a letter basis. Yeah.
This is fake. She knows exactly when that happened. The eye search she's got going on there, that's forced and faked, as is the facial expression.
Netflix has since pulled the Home Rituals segment from U.S. viewership pending investigation, but Archewell has remained silent, refusing to comment to multiple outlets, including Reuters and Variety. Insiders tell Deadline that the silence isn't strategic. It's legal. Meghan's legal counsel is reportedly scrambling to settle quietly, fearing the PR fallout could bleed into her already shaky product launch with "as ever."
So I created for the kids these email addresses that sort of like names, again, that you would never guess, that I will give them at some point in their lives when they're older. But before I go to bed almost every night.
Meghan, my God, you get praise every day, getting attention every day. You gotta praise yourself on Mother's Day? Really? It's all branding. Did you notice it?
The first red flag was the name itself. As ever wasn't a unique concept. Far from it. According to the UK Intellectual Property Office, the name was already registered by at least 3 small businesses across Europe and Canada before Meghan filed her trademark application in January 2025. Within a week of her soft launch, 2 of those companies issued public statements accusing her team of brand infringement. One Canadian owner, speaking to CBC News, said bluntly, "We got no warning, no request, just woke up to our entire identity being steamrolled by a duchess." But the naming scandal was just the start. What really lit the fire was the logo.
The agreement that was made did not remove the title. It restricted the way it was to be used. It was not to be used publicly. And she was giving a friend some strawberry jam that she made herself, and she wrote HRH, the Duchess of Suffolk.
Online users quickly noticed that the visual identity for "as ever," the crest-style emblem stamped across Meghan's strawberry jams and linen teasers, bore an uncanny resemblance to the official coat of arms for the town of Muro, Mallorca, Spain. The emblem, registered under the Spanish Ministry of Culture since 1983, is protected under international design law, and by April 2025, Muro's local government had issued a cease and desist letter to Archewell and its affiliate LLC, accusing them of unauthorized appropriation of a protected cultural symbol.
Wasn't there some speculation that she was on Epstein's yacht at one point in time? There was like photos with her and Prince Andrew way back in the day when she was like in her early 20s. Wow.
It is interesting how she's exposing her as a yacht girl, someone who was paid off by rich men to go and hang out.
As author Kirby Summers suggested, that the then Meghan Markle likely spent time with Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein before she even met Prince Harry.
That's when Joe Rogan chimed in. On the April 17th episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, he pulled up a side-by-side of Meghan's logo and the Spanish coat of arms, shaking his head in disbelief. Did she just go on Canva, pick a logo, and slap it on some jam jars? He asked, half laughing. It's like branding by Pinterest board. That one line went viral instantly, reposted on X over 40,000 times in under 12 hours. And just like that, As Ever became a meme, not a movement. The brand's credibility took an even harder hit when curious consumers tried to get their hands on the products. Meghan's PR claimed the launch items, handmade jams, candles, and teas, sold out within 30 minutes. But retail analysts like Emily Carter of Brandwatch later clarified that only a limited test batch of fewer than 50 units was actually produced. So yes, they sold out, but only because they barely existed in the first place. Carter called it a textbook scarcity tactic to manufacture buzz without real supplyinte. By the end of April, marketing insiders were describing the entire rollout as smoke and mirrors. Former Archwell contributor Dylan Mayer told Vanity Fair, "There was no infrastructure, no supply chain, no licensing cleared. It was all about the press release." And Meghan's team? Silent. No statement, no clarification, no plan.